Welcome. Thank you for joining me for yoga today. I'm Heather, and I'm happy to be able to offer you a practice that will help you wake up in the morning, feel energized and ready for the rest of the day. We will start in a seated position. If you prefer to start sitting in a chair, that's always an option, especially first thing in the morning if you feel a little bit stiffer and tighter in your hips or legs or lower back. Feel free to grab a chair. We are going to take a moment just to connect with ourselves. So if you'd like to at this time, you can close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, helping you to transition from the outer world to the inner world. Helping you to find that inner center, taking a nice deep breath in, and then breathing it all out with a sigh. And we'll continue that a couple more times. Nice deep breath in. And one more breath like that. Good, helping you to settle deeper in towards your center and bringing you into the present moment. And we'll keep coming back here for the entire class. Keep coming back to your breath, coming back to your experience in the here and now. And I'd like to do one more breathing practice today. This one is really good at waking us up. It's pretty simple. All we're going to do is take a nice deep breath in, and you can reach your arms up. And as you exhale, you're going to bend at your elbows and breathe out quickly with your elbows coming down quickly, bending your arms. Okay, it's like this. And you can breathe out through your nose or your mouth. Let's do that a few times. Let's try to get to about at least 5 the first round. Taking a deep breath in. And then breathing in. And breathing in again. Now I'd like you to go at your own pace, following your own breath. And you can do it as slowly as you'd like for the inhale. If you want to slow down the exhale too, you're welcome to. We'll do one more here. And release your arms for a moment. And then we're going to try one more round of that. All right, so taking a breath in. And I might start to flow a little bit quicker, but again, I want you to find the pace that feels right for you. Let's try for one more. And release. Let go of your arms. And just noticing if that helped to energize your whole body. You might feel some tingling sensations, some vibrational shifts within yourself. And then we'll start to roll the shoulders a little bit more. Moving in the opposite direction. And we're gonna release that and take our legs out of that posture. And if you're sitting in a chair, if you'd like to join us on the mat now for some warm-ups, we're going to roll out through the feet and ankles. We're moving in the opposite direction. Good. And then we're going to flex the feet and then point the toes. I'll do this a few more times. And you can do it with your breath to help connect you there, to help steady and focus your mind. Bring your feet in as you inhale. And as you point your toes, exhale. And this will be our last time. Good. Come back to center. And we're going to wake up those legs. So if you want to gently use loose fists and gently come down the outsides of your legs and then up the insides. This is a shiatsu massage technique. Again, to get your circulation, blood flow, your energy flowing. And then we're going to come down the tops of the legs and up the inside. And we'll do that 2 more times. We're just lightly patting. And then we're going to come down the backs of the legs. So even if you want to spend a moment just at the back of the hips there, you can bend your knees and we'll come up the inside again. One more time. And then we'll release. You can shake out your legs, shake out through your feet. And get a sense of how your feet, your legs feel at this point. Sitting up nice and tall. You can sit on something. I know this is a tricky position. You can always have your knees bent. Let's bring the arms up. And exhale, we're going to bend one knee and come over. And you might not need to bend one knee, but if you do, please do. So if you're feeling stiff in your legs, starting off with the bend of the knee will really help. It'll help you bend over from your hips instead of your belly. So we'll do this a few more times. We're inhaling, coming up, exhaling, coming over. To wake up our whole body here. And we'll do this one more time each side. And good. Bending your knees, hinging from your hips helps to keep your length in your spine. Come back to center and see how your body feels here. We'll take our legs out of this position. We'll bring the soles of the feet together. And just a little more movement, a little more warm up before we move on. We're gonna do a bit of a roll through the upper body. So I'm rolling. Again, I'm trying to move from my pelvis. Keeping the spine long as you come around. We'll do this a few more times. Then you can just move however it feels good. If you want to just half roll forward and back, if you want to fully circle your upper body. You can also pause to one side. That always feels nice too. And we'll come back to center. And we'll gently pause to the other side. We'll come back to center. Straight again, just over your legs. You can always slide your legs out here in the butterfly. A few breaths. Nice and slow and deep. And on your next inhale, come back to center and release. We'll bring our arms back for one more thing here in the seated position, opening the chest. Feeling that space in the front of your body, the front of your chest, opening. Good. At the end of this exhale, you can release and come back to center. We'll bring our legs in. And then we'll just lean over to one side, take the feet to one side and come over onto the mat on our hands and knees. We're going to start with the knees a little bit wider, a little bit further back, and starting to roll, and another wonderful warm up. Feel that right through your back. Good, and then we'll circle in the opposite direction a few times. And then we'll come back to center. If you want to slide your hands out even a little bit more, this time as you exhale, we'll pull back, straight back. And not quite the child's pose. We'll keep our hips lifted here, more of a stretch through your upper body and arms. And on your next breath, then we'll come over, come into half plank. Creating some heat here, strengthening. And then as you exhale, come back to more of a table position. We'll align the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips, and we'll begin to move through the spine. So if you'd like to exhale and arch your back by lifting your belly, your head will come down. And on your inhale, slowly look forward, lifting your chin slightly. And just continue to flow with your breath. If you need to modify your position, if you need to come onto your hands differently, your wrists might be hurting, you can make fists. You can add a little lift. You can come up onto your fingers. Do whatever you need to do to feel good. Okay, you might pause, or you might continue to flow with your breath through cat-cow. You just want to wake up that spine. Of course, if you are doing this earlier in the morning, it's normal for your body to feel stiff, but also if you could be doing this midday and after a period of sitting, if you're at your desk. This is one of the best poses to really help open your back, release tension and pain. We'll do it for 2 more breaths. And this time we'll come back to center. And finding that central place where your back, it feels straighter, you're activating your core slightly, your arms are strengthening here. We're going to come up onto the fingertips and walk those hands in. And we're going to do a little stretch for the feet. So curl your toes under. And if you can, let your hips go back slightly or not. You could stay more like this, but we're curling the toes under. And then we're going to, at the same time, if you can, if you have available, you can come back a little bit more. You can turn your hands the other way and do a wrist stretch at the same time. Okay, if not, we can do this separately. You'd be like this. Release your feet and do the wrist stretch separately. Okay, holding for one more breath. And then at the end of this exhalation, walk your hands in, come up to a kneeling position. And I'm just going to turn onto my mat. You don't have to, but just so you can see me better, I'm going to send the right leg straight out to the side. If you want to start with your foot lifted, toes up, aligning your hips, and then bringing your foot down. Good. I'm just trying to keep your hips pointing forward. On your next breath in, lift through your left arm and come over. And hold that for a few more breaths. This is the key pose. It's wonderful at opening up our body, creating space in your upper body, creating room for your breath to move through, opening those ribs. So just enjoy this position as you breathe. Smile throughout your practice. That's one thing I wanted to mention. Smiling will help you to feel better inwardly, especially if you've been feeling a little bit down. And this can be in November. It's been really cloudy here and rainy and wet and cold. So it's hard to kind of keep our spirits lifted sometimes without that sunshine. One thing we can do is just smile. And try to come back to your smile throughout the day as much as you can, helping to feel, open through your heart center. And even if you have to fake it, we're going to come out of that position on that side and we're going to switch. So take your other leg out and lift your foot up. One other thing, if you smile and you're around people and it's like giving, and it's like when they lost their smile, you're giving them one of yours, and it really truly creates so much happiness and joy. So, and it's so simple. So when you're out and about today, if you want to come back to your smile, bringing your arm up and over, and hold this for a few breaths. And we'll stay for 2 more breaths, helping to open, lengthen, and then release. Good. We're going to bring those feet in, or bring the foot in. And I'm just going to turn back to the side here so you can see what I'm doing better. This time we're going to bring the right leg forward into a lunge. Okay. If you need to pad your knee, the back knee, then I recommend doing that. If it feels sore at all, you can put a folded blanket or towel, whatever you have. Roll your mat a little bit at that point. And we'll just come back and forth a few times. Good. This time, inhale, come forward, hold that pose, and reach your arms up. Good. And they can go forward more. If you want just to come back, that'll open, but you want to make sure that the lower back feels good there, so you're not constricting it. And as you exhale, release. And as you release, just bring your leg back a little bit, reach through your arms. See if you can interlace your fingers behind you and pull back slightly and come forward, or come into your lunge a little bit deeper again. Good. And then we'll come back and release. And we'll reach those arms up again on the inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to see if we can come a little bit lower. Now, I have props just to show you if you need to put something underneath your hands. You can. That's always an option if you have something there as you start to transition lower. If it doesn't feel good to come right onto your hands at this point. Okay. If you'd like, you can lift up through that back knee and press back with your heel. Center your hips here. And then coming down again. We're going to come up. Good. Testing our balance here, reaching up. And then we're going to come down. This time, we're going to come into a twist. So as you come down, again, you can use support if you need for your hand. Left hand stays down. Right hand comes to the lower back. Try not to take your hips into this twist. Try to keep them centered. And you can rest your hand there, looking to the right. If it feels good, you can start reaching that arm up. But if it doesn't, just keep your arm down, making sure it feels okay for that shoulder. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, release. As you release, we'll come up again. This time, stretching out through that leg in front, finding your balance. Again, if you have a little support here, it might help. Okay. And then if you can, come over slightly, bending from your hips. Okay. Sometimes I'll just lift my back leg slightly and send it back. A big stretch for the leg here. So do what feels good. And then we're going to release. So we'll release by bending that knee and sliding back. Okay, I'm going to do that lunge on the other side. And again, I'll have my support ready there, and just a few times back and forth. Opening your hips. And the next time you come forward, lift your arms. Take a few breaths here, find your place. Keep slightly adjusting if you need to keep finding that right place for you, just the right, perfect place of sensation where you can breathe and stay without feeling that it doesn't feel good. So you want to feel good. Let's slowly bring those arms back. And when you're ready, you can reach with your arms. And then release. And as you release, reach your arms up again. This time we're going to come down. And again, if you want to use your support, it's there for you. Into a lunge. I'm going to come up onto the back foot for a moment. Press back. Center your hips. So sometimes the hips shift to the left. With the left foot forward, we're going to just try to find that center point again for the place the hips connect with the center of your pelvis, tailbone. And then you can come down. Again, we're going to come up. And as you exhale, come into that twist. So now right hand down. If you want, you can lift your back knee as well. Okay. Or you can keep that back knee down. Test it out. Does it feel okay to reach out through your shoulder, your arm? You don't have to bring it straight up. You can even have it out to the side, keeping in alignment. And then we'll release, come down, and come back up. And this time straightening out through your leg. Okay, and if you want to come over slightly, you could come over. Finding that stretch. Careful here not to hyperextend your knee. So that would be when you push your knee back too far. You want to keep it soft and open, but still straight, right? Still straight if you can. Waking up those legs. One more breath here. And then we'll release, we'll come forward again, come up onto your back leg or back foot there. And we're going to transition sideways. So bringing your hands in between your legs into a wide-legged forward bend. A few breaths here. You can let your upper body hang as much as it feels good to. Again, you can find support if you need it for your hands. And then we'll just slide those feet in a little bit. And we're going to plant down through the feet, bend the knees, and slowly rise up. And you can straighten your legs as you rise up to standing. We're going to turn the feet out slightly and come into a standing squat. I'm going to come down, pausing here. And on your next inhale, straighten, reach through your arms. Open your chest a little bit more, lifting your heart. And exhale, come down again. We're going to do this 2 more times. We're holding here for a few breaths. If you don't want to hold, you can also just flow back and forth with your breath, inhaling here and exhaling down. Make sure those knees are going in the direction of your toes. One more breath here. And exhale. This time I'm going to hold this position just for a moment. I'm going to come down with the hands and I'm going to come into a bit of a twist, looking towards the left. Come back to center, looking towards the right. Come back to center and release. Let's bring the arms right over the head and we're just going to slide the feet together, bringing the arms straight up. And we're going to come over to the side. Breathing here for about 2 more breaths. Okay, inhale, and you're coming back to center. And exhale, other side. And we'll hold for 2 more breaths. As you hold and breathe, remember to smile. It'll also help you to enjoy whatever you're doing more. Bring a lightness to it. More light, joyful quality to your whatever you're doing in that moment. We'll bring the hands together. Sinking back into your center. So the center line here, and when I say center, generally you can go anywhere within yourself. And we have this central channel that flows through, and it's wonderful to become more aware of it. Even just like you might not typically feel it, but you identify with this central channel that runs through the core of your body from the root to the crown. And that's where it's the main energy channel, the big one called the Sushumna. It's where all the 7 main chakras are located. And typically, many of the time when I come back to my center, I come back to the center of my body here at the heart chakra, but you may come to your belly, or you may come to your third eye. And just connect to that spot, focused attention, but a very open attention. You're not intensely trying to focus or concentrate or lock your mind in. You're just keeping your focus there freely, breathing, and getting a sense of how your body feels in this position too. And if your lower back's a little bit sore, just noticing that you can gently shift your pelvis slightly, playing around with your alignment until you can find your best place, right? Coming onto the outer edges of your feet might help actually to bring your hand to the outer hips and just try to find that place also where you feel a little bit more lifted through your core, bringing your pelvis into alignment. And finding that place that when you find it, you'll just go, Oh, that feels good. That feels better. The pain releases, or the tension releases. The muscles don't have to hold and grip your body into that unnatural position. So we have this, we can connect back to our center here. Also for alignment, lifting up through the crown of the head in the mountain. Beautiful. Yeah, and I hope you felt it can be just a tiny little subtle shift in your body to try to find that best place. But keep trying to find it, especially when you're standing here in the mountain. You could be standing anywhere throughout your day, and you're trying to find, oh, my body doesn't feel great, right? So I'm going to shift it. I'm going to play around with my position, see what's going on, check it out, and try to find my best place here. Good. And I'm going to step towards the top of the mat now and do just a little bit more of a flow. We're going to bring the feet to the top of the mat, standing in mountain. Again, standing up nice and tall and straight. On your next breath in, if you want to reach your arms straight up, you could come back slightly with your arms. Again, just to make sure you've got your core engaged, you can bend your knees and imagine you're pressing a ball between your thighs, just gently, and to come back, keeping your lower back from crunching or collapsing. Good. And on your exhalation, pull your arms down and release into your forward bend. You bend your knees and look forward. So I'm bending my knees quite a bit. You can have support here. You can take your hands to your legs and then exhale and release. I'll do that one more time. And then inhale, bend your knees. You can plant through your feet, come up about 3/4 of the way, aligning your spine, aligning your head, shoulders down. You might bring your arms out, or you could keep your hands on your thighs. And then coming back up, reaching through your arms. Come back slightly and back down with your hands towards your heart. Good. Inhale, reach. And exhale, pull down. This time as you inhale, come up halfway. You can bring your hands to your legs. And exhale, step back with your right foot coming into a warrior one position. And we'll pause here for a moment just to find our position, our posture. Lift up through your back heel and plant it back down. Arms come down. You can reach back slightly, opening your shoulders. If you want to bring those hands together again, do that too, helping to create a nice stretch for your arms and your shoulders. And then releasing your arms. We're gonna, on the inhale, lift. And on the exhale, we're gonna come over and we're gonna come from the hips again. We're gonna straighten this front leg. You slide your hands to your thigh and lengthen from the root to the crown. I love being aware of that central channel. Again, just for alignment speaking too, right? Connect. Where's the crown? Where's my root? I'm going to align along that center. If it feels good, you could come lower. This is another one. If you've got your blocks handy still, if you have blocks, you can use blocks. Eventually, we're coming down. I'll hold for one more breath. You can alternate if you need to come out slightly, bend your knee and go back in into the pyramid. And bending that front knee and planting your feet down. We're going to rise back up into warrior one. Okay, we're going to connect the hands right together over the head. We're going to lift through the back heel. And we're going to step that back foot forward in line with your other foot. Exhale, bring the hands down. Okay, next breath in, reach the arms. And exhale, we're going to go into a forward bend again. Inhale halfway up. And exhale to step back with your left foot into the warrior one. And again, we're not frozen in our posture. The first position that we choose, we want to do a little bit of subtle shifting to find our best place. Shift through your hips, pointing them forward, lift up through your heel and come down. Bending that front knee, planting your back leg, rooting it down to the earth, finding that connection, that grounding and stabilizing force for you to feel balanced enough to open your arms and reach. Good. We'll stay here for one more breath. And on your next exhale, we'll come over and we're just going to land our hands on our thigh and push back through your hips, straightening your front leg in the pyramid. If you had a chair close to you, one of my favorite things to do is to reach out for the back of the chair, the seat back, and it's so nice to do that, to lengthen through your upper body. But for now, if you have props, you want to come a little bit further with this, go for it. If not, stay in that first position. We're working in stages, depending on what the body allows. And again, coming back to that, our motto for this class, what feels good? And don't expect as we switch sides, each side to feel the same or to be able to do the same. Getting to know yourself. That is a big part of our yoga, is getting to know ourselves, all levels of the body, physically. We'll plant down through that front foot and rise up. Physically, getting to know ourselves emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Okay. Yoga is a journey of the self, through the self, to the self. Bring your hands down in mountain. And this time as you inhale, we're going to reach those arms up again. And exhale, fold down. And inhale, come up halfway. And this time, connecting your hands if you can. And we're going to step back through the right foot. And at the same time, step back through the left foot. Come into a plank. You can drop down through your knees to find your alignment here. Okay, once you feel if you feel strong today, every day is different. Honestly, I'm a little tired today. Getting up with my doggies in the middle of the night. So I might not have the energy to hold plank as long, and that's okay, right? That's okay. Give yourself permission to do what feels manageable, challenging your body a little bit, of course, but not. We don't want to drain our body of energy. We want to restore it with movement, mindful breathing. Let's come back from the plank, and actually, let's come back in the half dog or puppy pose. And release here with your breath. Take a long, deep breath out. And then the next time you inhale, come forward in the plank again. And exhale down onto your belly. Good. We're coming into either Sphinx. Sphinx is when your arms are out, your elbows are maybe underneath your shoulders or maybe even slightly forward from your shoulders. Maybe even you're out here, depending on what feels right for your back, okay? Making adjustments to your posture, finding your best place for today. Every day is different. You can also use this pose pressing down through your elbows. It's almost like you're going to slide your arms forward, but you're not. And that'll help engage and lift your core. And that'll help align your pelvis, lengthen your lower back. So it's not going to be constricted here. There's space there. And then you can roll down onto your belly a little bit more. You can slide your hands underneath your shoulders this time, elbows in. And you can be up in a gentle cobra, holding that position. I'm not even really exerting any strength right now to lift. But when you do want to lift, not from planting your hands down too firmly. I mean, there's a balance there of pressing down slightly, but also engaging your core. Lifting up so that wherever you are, you could take your hands away. And your hands are just supporting you here. Good. Again, that'll help line your body up. I'm holding for 1 or 2 more breaths. You can also come down with your exhale and up on your inhale to your place. Be slow and gentle and very mindful of how you're feeling. And then on your next inhale, we're going to prepare to come off the belly. So slide the hands down, press them down firmly to come up. And we're going to go all the way back in the child's pose. Keep your arms extended here, reaching through your fingertips. And breath in your back. And then we'll come up, but the hands are shoulder distance apart. I like to keep that middle finger tracking forward in line with your arms, in line with the middle of your shoulder. We're going to rise up into downward facing dog. Again, come back to half dog if that's more appropriate for you today. And breathe here for a moment. Walk those legs out from side to side. Use the strength of your arms, your back, to lift up through your hips, pausing and coming down onto your knees whenever you're ready to release this pose. We'll try for 2 more breaths here. Connecting with the outside of your hands a little bit more. From here, we're just going to walk the feet in and hands towards the feet, coming into forward bend. And then planting your feet and slowly rising up. Coming back with your arms up and then down together at your chest. Breathing in and out, pausing to feel, to sense your entire body here. Coming back to your smile. Allowing for whatever your experience is, holding space for yourself. And on the yoga mat, we release our physical body, of course. We open it up and talking more about a little bit deeper into the body, the emotions start to release. As you may notice that some days you get an emotional release, that's wonderful because whatever was being held back, repressed, is now feeling open to flow through and to release from your body. Your body holds so much, right? All right, and then we're going to come back down. We're going to come onto the back and slowly roll down from the lower back to the mid back to the upper back. Keep your knees bent for a moment. Let your back sink into your mat. Rock your head a few times from side to side. And come back to center, a center point here. With your feet in towards your body and your arms down at your sides, we're going to really plant those feet, firm them down into the mat, and then lift through the hips. Come into bridge pose. On your next exhalation, slowly flow back down, rolling through your spine. We're going to do that a few more times. And you're putting a little more weight into the shoulders. Feel that. And use your body, the legs to push into the shoulders, sliding them down your back. It's really nice to get that length there. We want the shoulders to move down the back. We want the neck to lengthen. And we'll do this for 2 more breaths. Again, really use those legs to lift your hips up. Pretend you're squeezing a ball for a moment right between your thighs. And then slowly release. And just let your back sink, maybe feeling a bit more connected through all parts of your spine down toward your mat. And start lifting those heels off the mat and tucking to help connect a little bit more to lengthen the spine, pulling that belly in as we hold this position. And the lower back will sink. And then bringing one knee in towards your chest. And then we're gonna release the other foot off the floor. Bring both knees in towards the chest. Rock around a little bit from side to side in this position. And then we're gonna slowly release the legs. You can release them one at a time. Reach out through your arms. And you can start with your palms facing up. And we're going to rock the legs. Side to side movement. And we'll flow a little bit here back and forth. I'm just testing the edge of this position as you drop your knees to one side. How's that feel? I'm not going to quite hold it yet, but keep both shoulders down. You can also start to turn your head in the opposite direction. And here's another example of how you can change your positioning and find a different place in the pose. You can have your feet closer together and doing the same movement, dropping the legs from side to side, or you could have your feet wider apart. And that changes things. It changes how you feel as you move from side to side. And then we'll come back to center. This time, we're gonna maybe bring those feet closer together and knees closer together. You might even use a prop here if you have a pillow or something you wanna put between your legs, you can. And drop the legs to one side, hold it there for a few breaths. Keep the arms open, shoulders down, especially that opposite shoulder. Turn your head in that opposite direction. If you want, you can bring your hand to the top of your leg here. Breath. Breath moving through. Come back to center. And whatever direction, my legs were going to the right. So I'm going to come back to center, bring my left knee in, and just slide the left ankle onto the front of the right thigh for a moment. I'm going to bring my legs in, hooking my hands behind my right leg, but whatever feels good. You don't have to go to this place. Holding for one more breath. And then we'll release. Let go through your left foot, bring it back down, bring your legs together, arms out to the sides. Let's drop the legs to the other side. Pausing here, let your body settle into this position more deeply. Feel the weight of your arms sinking down, feel your head sinking down. Let your legs pull down towards that side. And you could even use your hand on that top leg here. A wonderful twist. It helps you to feel settled within yourself. That's a good one. You can come back to this one at any time, especially the end of the day when you're feeling more, maybe more unsettled, or you just want to unwind. This is a wonderful pose to use. On your next breath in, if you want to slowly return back to center and bring that right leg in and slide the ankle on the thigh and pause here if you'd like, or you can slide your hands behind your left knee. Just staying connected to how my body's feeling, how my breath is flowing. I'm not worrying about anything else, not letting my mind fixate on anything that has yet to come. Just trying to bring myself back to the present moment again and again. It's a practice, but the more you do it, we can release that pose now. The more you will begin to feel relaxed within yourself, the more you will be able to just do nothing and enjoy it. It's hard, and so we'll come into Shavasana. If you need any support underneath your legs, feel free. It can be hard for many people with busy lives to be able to relax, right? To be able to settle. It's just because our brains are hardwired to be busy, to be doing something. This is the ultimate pose, of course, to teach us that it's okay just to be here now, to relax and find ways that you can promote relaxation. Remind yourself you're doing this for you. Relaxing into yourself, recharging your batteries. Nothing else in this moment matters, just the here and now. You've given yourself this gift of time and space. Settle into the time and space that you're in right now. And release time. One thing we can do is release our concept of time for a few moments. Relaxing through the body more fully, the legs release and the feet soften. The arms get heavier, sinking. Your hips sink down, releasing into the earth. Same thing for your back. And the backs of your shoulders sink. Let the weight of your head rest down, releasing your jaw. Let all the muscles of your face relax. Maybe bring a hint of a smile to your mouth. And in this space, this mindful space, feeling deeply connected to self, how are you feeling? And allow the breath to flow through your body. My breath is breathing me now. I've released control, as much control as I can. I'm surrendering to the flow. Reminds me of a beautiful song. It's called I Release Control by Alexis Rose. Sunshine, I believe her name is. You can check her out on Spotify. But I release control and surrender. I release control and surrender to the flow. It sounds something like this. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. So I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. Connecting back to your heart. If you'd like to, you can bring your hands very slowly up to your heart center in this position. Let your elbows rest if you can. You can even just place your fingertips there. Feel your breath here. Coming back into this place where love resides. The love that you are lives here. You can soften within yourself in this place. And if you'd like to repeat to yourself silently, inwardly, or out loud if you feel comfortable, but it's I love myself. Say it with meaning, affirm it to be true. I love myself. Smiling, I love myself. And give yourself a big hug. You can wrap your arms around your body, bring your hands behind to your shoulders, and start to slowly bend your knees, bringing your feet to the floor. And just do a little rock here. We're gonna rock with my arms and my shoulders, feeling that space through the center of the chest, right through the upper back. And you can release your arms, reaching them up and opening your arms outwards, stretching for a moment, a little more actively stretching your arms out to the sides. And slowly reaching them up over your head. And release your arms down. And as you do, you might bring your one knee into the chest, maybe the other. Pause here for a few breaths. We're going to try to, as we come out of our Shavasana, finish our yoga practice, we're going to try to keep the nice pace that we've set as we come up to sitting. And we can sit just for a moment. And again, come back in. At the same time, we're staying connected to ourselves inwardly. We're starting to merge our attention, our focus a little bit more, of course, into the outer world. But see if you can find balance between staying connected to yourself and being in the space around your body. And repeat to yourself silently. If you want to bring your hands together, you can. I am peace. Right. And we've done our practice here today so that we can connect to that sense. So we can connect to the peace within. And hopefully you're feeling that here and now, a settling, a calmness, just washing over your entire being. So thank you so much. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again soon.